What is up, everybody? This is The Art of Endurance. I am Eric, your host, and this is another episode of Quick Hits. Today I want to tell you a secret that you might not know. Well, I'm sure you do, and I'm sure it might have held you back in a lot of things, in a lot of ways, throughout your life. And here it is. No matter what you do, no matter how good you are, no matter how much you help people, no matter how much you love people, people are going to hate you. They're going to not even know you, and they're going to make judgments that are not based in any kind of reality that tell them that you're a bad person, that you're a hypocrite. And the more good you do, the more you grow, the more this is going to happen. And the reason this happens is because these people don't want to grow themselves. They don't want to take that journey. So it's far easier to discredit you. It's far easier to shut you down. It's far easier to prove why you're not good and why they don't need to do the things that you're doing. Because they don't want to take the journey themselves. They don't want to look inside. They don't want to feel that pain. They want the world to stay the same. They avoid discomfort. They don't want to grow. And they get confused because they think in slashing you down, somehow that makes them tough. That makes them good, and it doesn't work that way. But what does work, unfortunately, is we take that fear. We take that worry that if we put ourselves out there, if we share our hearts, if we share what we believe, that blade is going to come through and cut us down. So we shame ourselves so that nobody else can shame us. We do it first so no one else gets a chance. I talk myself out of so much greatness because I don't want someone else to do it. I don't want someone else to tell me how wrong I am or how impossible it is. I went on the show Quest for Kona knowing I wasn't going to qualify for a Kona slot. But I put myself out there and I became an Ironman in France in crazy fashion. And I'm proud of myself for that. But when people saw it, the ones that didn't love it had the same thing to say. They looked at me as unrealistic. They looked at me as being foolish for dreaming so big, for having the thought that I could ever be in Kona, the Ironman World Championships, that I could ever qualify for it without using a legacy slot, that they would negate the entirety of the message on the fact that I wasn't ever gonna make it and that I didn't have a place being there. And that is so indicative of so many people who are gonna cut you down in life. But it doesn't matter what they think. They can't hurt me. They can't hurt you unless we let them. The truth is, they're very unhappy. They're very sad. They're very alone. They're very scared. Anybody who's angry at you is hiding fear, because anger is the thing that sits on top of fear that says, I'm going to fight. Like, don't touch. I don't want to be scared. I don't want to look vulnerable. It's all bravado. It's all false. Just so they don't have to deal with the fact that they're scared inside. And training for me, dreaming big, is all about addressing the fear that I have inside. The voice that lives in here that says you are not enough. You are not strong enough. You cannot do these things. So shut up so no one else gets to shut you up. Is the voice that I take with me on a ride. Today, I didn't want to get on the bike. But I got on the bike because I know that the voice is going to stop me. The voice in my head is the same voice that's in every head of the elite athletes on my racing team for Project Echelon. We don't see that. Not everybody gets to see that part of ourselves, but everyone has it, and everyone has to combat it, and they have to find the ways that they can. Otherwise, they stay stuck. In fitness, triathlon training for me is supreme, because it's my method, it's my way, it's how I discovered my own process to healing. It doesn't have to be triathlon, it doesn't have to be endurance sport. But when we test ourselves physically, we can go to battle with the real voice that we have to listen to and be most afraid of, the one in here. Because that's the one that holds us back. We just use examples throughout all of our lives and all the negativity that's been put on us, or other people who have done something that we want to do, that we don't want to feel that feeling. We don't want to attract that attention to ourselves, so we just avoid it completely because that sucks for them, and I would never want to be looked at like that. I don't want to be a lightning rod for people's attention. But we can't live our lives because we're afraid of how it will impact others in a negative way. We don't want to seem like we're an inconvenience, but we aren't an inconvenience. We inconvenience ourselves with false belief and self-doubt. We limit ourselves because we're afraid of success. We're afraid of doing something so great that people are going to not like it. I have a friend who was in Quest for Kona with me, and she's from Australia, and she told me after I was talking about the same thing, it's called tall poppy syndrome. And what I had referred to it as when a weed grows up in a yard, we call it ugly because it's different from the rest of our yard. So we want to go out there and we want to weed whack it. We want to take it out. We want to poison it. We want to get rid of the weed, the taller thing than the rest of the grass, because it's ugly and the rest is good. We want everything to stay the same. Nothing should rise up, and if it does, it is wrong, it is out of place, and it must be destroyed. We see someone doing something great, and it must be destroyed because it is different than what I'm doing in my life, and I see it, and unconsciously I want it, and I don't think I can have it. So I need to destroy that person. I need to say why they're an addict, why they're wrong, why they're foolish, so that I can stay happy in my peaceful misery, because I know it. But do we really want to live that way? Is that really what we want? Is that what we want to work for? No. And for me, I found it on a bike. I found it on the run. I found it in the pools. And I found it on the Ironman course in France and Wisconsin. I found it in my failure in Coeur d'Alene. I learned so much about myself by putting myself out there, succeeding, failing, hurting, thriving, whatever it is I learn about myself in those environments in ways that I could never learn about myself had I not taken the risk, had I not dreamed so big it scared me, achieved it, and then dreamed bigger. So I will get to Kona someday. Not because I think the world needs to see me as great. Not because I think that one thing is going to define me, and nobody will ever question whether I'm strong or whether I am worth it or valuable or should listen to me because I did something exceptional. Not any of that. It's because Kona is a goal, is a direction that I believe for myself. The pursuit of that goal will show me and make me feel strong in a way that I will not allow anyone else to ever make me feel weak again. Because I've allowed too many people to come into my life and make me feel weak because I let them. I lost my power in some of the things that happened in my life. I was powerless. I was young. I couldn't fight back. I didn't think I could fight back. And that stuff happened to me. And I don't like to feel weak anymore. Triathlon makes me feel strong. Because it's something I do when I'm weak. When I'm at the end of a race and I feel weak, I put the little kid in my body that says we aren't strong enough for this, hide under the bed. I put that kid on my shoulders and I say, let's go. And we finish the race and we show ourselves that we are strong. That's what matters. This voice in here is what matters. How we communicate to this heart where our truth lives is what matters. Not what any of the naysayers, not what any of the negative comments on YouTube are ever going to say about us. Because they're just out there weed whacking. They're trying to take you down because you're different than them. And different is scary, different is ugly, because it makes the person who doesn't like it look inside and realize what they haven't achieved in their own lives because they were too afraid to be the weed, to be the tall poppy. Find that thing in your life that you care about but have limited yourself because you think if you attract too much attention, you'll be smashed. That you think if you try it, you will fail and be smashed. The only way we guarantee failure in this life is if we never show up to risk getting smashed. And I promise when you do, the world doesn't fall apart. Even if it feels scary, even if it feels embarrassing, the world will continue on regardless of the success or failure. All that matters is the conversation you have in your head. All that matters is that you grow, is that you milk everything you do for all it's worth. Because this experience is here for you. It's all a process to figure out who you are so that you can live from that. It's your only responsibility. And when you live from that, when you discover that, you're free. And when you discover and live from that place, it will make you a better father, a better mother, a better husband, a better wife, a better girlfriend, boyfriend, son, daughter, friend, co-worker, whatever. It'll influence all the spheres in your life because the real you is showing up. Showing up. That's it. Just show up. Be the tall poppy. Be the weed that grows up between the blades of grass and looks different but flowers and is beautiful until we cut it down because we've decided what is and isn't beautiful in this world. But who decided? Who decided how beautiful you are? It wasn't me. It wasn't them. It was you. Now go out, find some way to move your body, and believe that. And when the negative voices come, listen. What do they say? Challenge them. Find one way that you can prove them wrong, and you've won. It's day one. Keep marching forward. That's the art of endurance. Day by day, step by step, workout by workout, all in an effort to find you. It's using your mind and your body to write your best life story possible. That's what all of us are doing. And there's people out there that are afraid to write their next chapter, and don't let them shut you down. Don't let fear prevent you from taking that risk to writing the best life story possible. Don't let them do that to you. Only you can give away that power. They can't take it from you. Now, until next time, journey well, my friends.